Hello everyone. This is my presentation to go over my 1 hour technology workshop that I implemented with my grade level. I'm going to go over the online components, and from the online component it will lead us to all of the different criteria that was required of this assignment. So to begin with, I decided to make a 1 hour workshop on the program Boomwriter. And Boomwriter is an online resource where students can write stories and make narratives from pre-existing chapters. And so they make their own chapter after they read a chapter, and so on and so forth. And so that really helps with us third graders because one of our standards that I have listed here is that they must write a narrative to develop real or imagined experiences using effective technique, details, events, sequencing, and then they have to follow all of these substandards as well. So I figured that Boomwriter would be a perfect tool for our third graders to use. So what I did in my workshop is I gathered all the third grade teachers and I showed them this quick video. It's kind of just an overview of what Boomwriter can offer our students. Below I had the agenda, so I had what we were going to do in the intro. I actually made my colleagues a student account under me, so they were able to log in as a student and kind of experience Boomwriter through the eyes of a student so they could understand the process. And then I made time for them to set up their account, and then I had a survey at the end for my evaluation. So if you click here on the website, my lesson plan will show up, and so here is my lesson plan. I have my objective and purpose, my mission and visions, my standards, my materials needed. I typed out what my activity entailed. I have my evaluation instrument and my narrative and my results. And so that is the overview of the lesson plan that I had for this workshop. So back to the website. On the website, I have the intro. I have the standards that Boomwriter can address, and also below I had our third grade rubric that we use. We use a lot of these rubrics from a book, and this is one of the rubrics that we use. So I just screenshot it and put it on here so that way they could see that they could use this rubric while reviewing the samples that they'll be getting from their students. On the next section, I have getting started tips. So this is kind of where I went from the introduction into, after they went through the process of being a student and they're getting their account set up. So for handouts, I had 3 different handouts. I had the teacher sign up instruction handout, which looked like this. So it went through how teachers can sign up for Boomwriter. I also had adding students. I had a handout, how to add a student to Boomwriter, that I made copies of for the teachers, and also I know we always lose copies, so I made a screencast of how a teacher would create a student account, and I did the same for first time login. And first time login, I also had a handout to assist with the instructions. And one more thing I didn't make a handout for this, but I did screencast this because it is a multi-step process, and that is to assign a story. And so I was able to run the screencast really and let the teachers see how they can assign a story to Boomwriter. So those were my handouts. And then also, finally, for the workshop survey, I just had them take a survey via Google Forms, And the survey questions, they addressed the levels of Gutsky's levels of evaluation. I'm not sure I'm saying that right. And so they were well thought out, and they required the appropriate data that I needed to know if the workshop was beneficial or not. So once we went through the workshop, I was able to collect all the data, and based on the data, I was able to see that, so let me pull up my 1 hour workshop. I was able to see that the workshop was effective and well perceived. All of my colleagues, they all said, it was based on a 1 through 5 scale, which was strongly disagree, which would be 1, to strongly agree, which would be 5. And all of them voted a 5 on the workshop. The workshop, I feel like, was a great success. They were really excited to, use something different for narrative writing, because writing can be very difficult to kind of hook the children in. So I feel like this was a great way for us teachers to incorporate technology into our writing. So this was my 1 hour workshop. Overall, I think it went extremely well, and I'm really excited to present this workshop to other grade levels. Probably not the end of this year, but most likely at the beginning of next year. So this was my 1 hour workshop on Boomwriter.